Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in this series, Yumiko versus Th000, and Th000 this time playing Undead. Gonna be interesting to see what exactly Th000 does on this particular matchup, and really, like, just the really strange and odd fights that we had in that first game. A lot of close calls, a lot of close plays, a lot of misses, as we are on, oh my goodness, what map is this? Last Refuge, I believe? Alright, anyways, let's take a look at this. Th000 is going to be spawning as the purple Undead over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we see Yumiko spawning as the red human. This is human versus undead, always a very interesting matchup, and this was something that I always wondered about. It was possible in the olden days, I believe, to actually wall off right here and then making it for a very interesting run around for the undead player. The undead player would try to come inside the base and then would end up, like, by the time they got over here, would realize, hey, I can't actually get inside this base. I need to walk around this far side instead. But now that the mercenary camp is down over here, I believe that was an older map. Was that Ancient Isle? No, not Ancient Isle. Anyways, I am just getting all over the place here. This is an undead versus human matchup. It is an archmage versus a death knight. Pretty classic matchup that we're going to be seeing unfold as we are going into a scout tower, arcane tower, to prevent that undead death knight from harassing with skeletal minions. Meanwhile, footmen will be trained up already. Footmen very important in this matchup alongside ghouls and crypt fiends, and I feel like I'm just babbling for the first 2 minutes, hoping that something is going to be tipped off, as we are going to be looking into an undead who may try to sell his scroll of town portal and then rush all the way on the far side of the map. Now Yumiko's job is to try and get, well, the Yumiko's job is going to be to try and get to the level 3 on that Archmage as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Th000's job is going to be to disrupt all of his creeping. Archmage is already nearby here, going to clear out this 3-3-3 creep camp with relative ease. There it goes, Circlet of Nobility, very nice item for an Archmage, as that Archmage is relatively low on hit points during the early portions of the game. You can see the Troll Trappers are going to fall there. There they go. And we may see a new round of Militia come in here in just a moment to try and clear out the Mercenary Creep Camp. The Death Knight, however, bringing in some rods of some Skeletal Minions and has that Rod of Necromancy. Arcane Tower is nearing completion, and the Undead can pretty much not do anything or chase with that harassment here. Those skeletal minions do deal a lot of damage, more damage than those footmen, but the footmen are a bit beefier by a good amount there. I guess the bone shield and the bone sword, not quite enough, as a fireball does hit. All right, we are going to be going into a bit of an engagement there. There's another charge of that Rod of Necromancy, and it looks as though, yes, the skeletal minion will get taken down. Archmage getting very close to level 2, and this has got to be a concern for Th000. Th000 cannot really allow that Archmage to get any more experience than it has. If it does get more experience, oh, what is this going to do? He's just going to try to deny experience by getting the Arcane Tower to get the final blow, and he does do exactly that. The Archmage still stuck at 156 experience, as the Skeletal Minions off over here are still just trying to buy time. You can see that the footmen are all down over here as well. The Death Knight running straight in. There's an ensnare, as the Death Knight getting some easy, or taking a lot of easy damage, and that is not good news at all, as the Skeletal Warrior is gonna get taken out. I'm not sure. Yes, taken out by the creeps, as the Crypt Fiend is now gonna join in on this fight as well. You can see level 2 on that Archmage already. Death Knight does not have any experience whatsoever, but the Death Knight is at least delaying Yumiko's Archmage from getting to level 3 and being able to do exactly what he wants. A beautiful long distance kill shot steal there, getting 92 experience, denying that experience from the Archmage, as the Archmage is just sitting a little bit past level 2, and that Death Knight will return all the way home. We are already teching to Halls of the Dead. Yeah, we are already taking the Halls of the Dead. There is one Nerubian Tower already. Crypt Fiends are going to be added here, and this Death Knight is going to bring in a Sacrificial Skull. It has double Rods of Necromancy and is now looking to perhaps continue this push. The problem here is that Yumiko is already setting up his Town Hall and is also getting up an Arcane Tower. This Arcane Tower should be able to push back this Death Knight pretty easily here. There are a good number of Crypt Fiends, though, and you can see that Yumiko with those Yumiko with that water elemental able to push back those Crypt Fiends, especially since that Death Knight does not yet have Unholy Aura. Without Unholy Aura, the movement speed on all of those Crypt Fiends are just average at best and not going to be able to do all too much. Alright, the Crypt Fiends now wandering around the far side here. Footman now going to perhaps be coming in from the far side as well. Double Circlets of Nobility as the Death Knight now leads the charge in here to try to get some easy shots. Alright, that poor Death Knight leading the way, actually taking a lot more damage than it bargained for. And Yumiko may get some free experience off of that kill right there. Yes, does get the kill off of the Water Elemental. And the Death Knight now only 66 experience away from level 2. Yumiko already has his Town Hall up. Arcane Tower is already in position. And Yumiko is going to get that economic advantage that he wants and needs so badly. Alright, this Null Overseer, how much damage is it going to take? Oh, are we going to see a trap here? Tho could have perhaps tried to trap his opponent there. You can see that this is actually a bad fight. Crypt Fiend, oh, Yumiko able to escape with that Footman, defend on the Footman, just reducing the amount of damage done significantly as the Footmen are still trying to give chase. A little bit of bounce reflect damage there. The Death Knight needs to be very, very careful. The Death Knight perhaps going to get a Death Coil off onto the Crypt Fiends and heal them back up. Meanwhile, what are we looking at here? Slaughterhouse coming in for Obsidian Statues. And we are already getting our Lich. That's going to be important. Is that Lich going to be enough to slow down those Footmen? And even when they're in defend mode, so that those Crypt Fiends can poke them down. Alright, the Death Knight using a Sacrificial Skull right outside the shop here to get some more regeneration, most likely on that Death Knight, as that Death Knight is relatively low on hit points. This is a little bit of a dangerous situation for him, since that Death Knight does need to regenerate a lot of hit points and quickly. Potion of Greater Mana has been left behind. We are going to go ahead and pick that up, as the Troll Trappers are now down. And this should be good enough for now for Tho, as he is going to be getting up that Lich here in just a moment. Meanwhile, there is a Footman sitting off over here. Crypt Fiends now making their way over. And what is going to be happening next? The Death Knight, not that much hit points, going to be a little bit low here and hoping to take down the guard towers, but Yumiko just seems so fortified at this point that there's not much that can be done. The guard tower, oh, taking a lot of damage right before it finishes upgrading. That might be enough. You can see that it is massively being repaired, but still not enough there, taking and losing about half of its life before it finished upgrading. That piercing damage, very important from those Crypt Fiends, as we are now trying to focus down more units. Give me one moment. Alright, welcome back, and let's go ahead and continue this as we are looking at the fight here. The Crypt Fiends are now trying to take down the Yumiko's Arcane Tower. It looks like it is going to get taken down. The Lich is actually getting feedbacked a lot here, but it doesn't really care as the Lich is just continuing this push here. It looks as though this is going to do a lot of damage. One huge Frost Nova taking down multiple units here, and you can see how much damage this is all doing. The massive number of skeletal minions, and this is turning things around relatively quickly as Yumiko is not concerned about this base at all. This is an absolute 180 of what I was expecting to happen, as Tho is just pushing over this expansion very easily. A whole bunch of skeletal minions now attempting to take down an Arcane Vault. It looks like it will get that without a problem, as the Archmage now tries to reconnect him from the far side. One Crypt Fiend caught on the wrong side of the engagement here, as Militia now being brought over. Alright, an Archmage now launching fireballs from a long distance here. As we can see, the attacks are coming through. We can see also the Death Knight with that Unholy Aura able to escape much more quickly, as the Militia are really pushing much further than they should be. A Footman getting a good surround onto the Crypt Fiend there. It looks like it will get taken down, as now the Crypt Fiends are going to be doing a little bit of an about face. Lich now trying to engage. You can see the other Obsidian Statue does have mana, so the Lich is going to be able to get in a lot of damage as soon as it gets in another Frost Nova. 125. We now see Gargoyles joining in on the fight. Not exactly sure what the Gargoyles are meant to be used to counter, as another Footman does bite the dust. So far, Water Elemental is going to get taken down. The Death Knight sitting at level 3. The Lich now sitting at level 2 does have Dark Ritual most likely, so it is going to be able to start sacrificing those skeletal minions in order to get even more mana down, and this is just going to be a continual problem. Alright, Water Elemental now trying to push in over here. Obsidian Statues just healing everything under the sun, and this is just a complete misplay by Yumiko. Yumiko not paying attention not realizing how strong this Crypt Fiend army was. You can see that the skeletal minions are just still pushing through over here, and now even the scout towers here, this is just free experience as the gargoyle now attempting to poke down the goblin zeppelin. Alright, the gargoyle needs to be a little bit careful. That water elemental can chase up to it, and now the Crypt Fiends are just getting some easy shots onto some more unsuspecting peasants. Level 3 on the Death Knight. Lich still sitting at level 2, won't level up unless Yumiko is continuing to train up more peasants. And wow, after a very tight and very difficult game 1, it looks as though Yumiko is just gonna fall apart here in game 2. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed it.